all right, ladies and gentlemen. What a day to be alive to see Ambazonians utterly reject the one and indivisible Cameroon agenda. Indeed, what an appropriate moment to play the song. We want to know. We want to know who owns the land. We want to rule our territory from Nkambe to the Mongol. That is the message that Ambazonians sent out, ladies and gentlemen, this day, the 20th of May, 2023, to La République du Cameroon and the international community to the effect that we are done. We are completely done dealing with the country called La République du Cameroon. The marriage, the Njumba Palaba, fade to what? And we have said it clear. I mean, it couldn't be clearer today that we are done with it. Please hit your share button. I am so excited to come to you today. Hit your share button. Don't touch your remote. I'll be right back.
Boy, males to this only dry. One eye motor the pass. That boy. Males to this only dry. One eye motor the pass. That boy. Males to this only dry. One eye motor the pass.
We are launching the unity match.
Yes, effectively.
So what's the impression?
That's the beginning. Normally, there's no start. People are still on the way coming.
On the way coming. To consolidate the unity of Cameroon and oneness.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Exactly.
Okay. We are launching the unity match.
Yes, effectively.
So what's the impression?
That's the beginning. Normally, there's no start. People are still on the way coming.
On the way coming. To consolidate the unity of Cameroon and oneness.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Exactly.
Okay. We are launching the unity match.
Yes.
19th of May 2023, Friday. On a look road. I look up the Monday. And I say only the win. God bless the luck. The Almighty Kumba. 19th of May 2023, Friday, on Alu Road.
Despite heavy lockdown, Kumba people have been through these rubbish lockdowns. Despite heavy lockdown, Kumba people have been through these rubbish lockdowns. Despite heavy lockdown, Kumba people have been through these rubbish lockdowns. Despite heavy lockdown, Kumba people have been through these rubbish lockdowns. Despite heavy lockdown, Kumba people have been through these rubbish lockdowns. Despite heavy lockdown, Kumba people have been through these rubbish lockdowns. Despite heavy lockdown, Kumba people have been through these rubbish lockdowns. Despite heavy lockdown, Kumba people have been through these rubbish lockdowns. Despite heavy lockdown, Kumba people have been through these rubbish lockdowns.
Now listen to the history. With the years since creation, with the years since creation, what does one know? Since the time of sun and sand, since the time of moon and stars, since the time of air and sea, since the time of men and things, we must run from faith to guide. Oh, as them must move our purpose land. Purpose land.
Our 51st National Youth Day celebration, which is the defense forces and the population, the Cameroonian population, in harmony to safeguard peace, unity, the bedrock of all the prosperity and all the unity that we have in Cameroon. That is one of them.
Yeah, sure.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, as you find on your screen, the verdict indeed is out. The verdict is out. Ambazonians again have rejected. They have rejected the message of one and indivisible Cameroon. Authorities in La République du Cameroon were desperately trying to send out a message from today's 20th May so-called festivities in our territory to the international community and of course to themselves that, you see, Ambazonians at home, they don't care about these diasporans are up to. They don't care about these calls for secession on the ground. This nuisance is coming from the diaspora. That is the message that French Cameroon tried desperately to pass across to the international community today. But I am so excited and so glad to say that they were not able. You, Ambazonians on the ground, stop them from sending that message. We have seen from all over the place before this event, all over Ambazonia, La République du Cameroon planted the Secret Service everywhere in Ambazonia, days or weeks before this event, just to make sure that the people they ferry in, especially to the big cities and towns, go ahead and participate in the march past. But unfortunately, the event 99.9% lacked the pomp and pageantry that used to mark this occasion. I remember when we were young, primary school, going out every 20th May, to celebrate this occasion, traditional dances, the colleges will march, the primary schools will march, everything, the political parties will march. The CPDM, of course, was the only political party then. They will all line up and participate in the march past, and there was a lot of pomp and pageantry in those days when 20th May was celebrated. Today, not even in their own territory, not even in Yaoundé. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Look at this from this angle. Look at Bafoussam. Nobody, CRTV will not care showing you a single image from Bafoussam. They will not mind, they will not care showing you a single footage from Douala. Not even Yaoundé. Not even Yaoundé, they may not care. Traditionally, the head of state will go out and address the nation on the occasion of 20th May celebrations. That has become a known event, and even the head of state knows that. That is why he doesn't show up anymore to address the population as he used to do. Ambazonians should know, we may not be having our offices in Boya yet, we may not be having our president in Boya yet, we may not be having our police force, we may not be having our administration in Boya, but we are gone. That is the message. We are gone. La République du Cameroon, if they have eyes to see and they have understanding, they would have seen and understood from this day that Ambazonians mean it when they say they are gone. Mediation, negotiation will not take us back to La République du Cameroon. A referendum will never take us back to La République du Cameroon. Nothing is going to take us back to a one and indivisible Cameroon. We are gone and we are gone. And that is the message that you sent out today. I want to thank every one of you on Ground Zero, all the civilians, the Ambazonia restoration fighters, for doing your best to make sure that this day was a disgrace, a national disgrace to the country called Cameroon. The civilians, you observe lockdown from the 18th till today. We want to specially appreciate you because these are the sacrifices that we need to take back, to finalize, to close the sale of Ambazonia. That is what we need to be doing once in a while, to close this deal with La République du Cameroon, close the independence struggle with La République du Cameroon. We saw from town to town, from city to city, the cities were shut down. Thank you guys in K-Town. Thank you in Bamenda. Thank you in Boya. It was fabulous. It was fabulous. Of course, we knew some people will always show up. Cameroon will always bring in people like you saw in Boya. They brought in the prisoners from the DDRs. They were the biggest contingent, march past contingent in Boya, made up of the prisoners from DDR. I'm going to be showing you the images. They came from the DDR. So we always knew that La Republic will always fish out some people from somewhere, ferry out some people from somewhere to take them to these grounds. And where they realized they couldn't ferry people to the march past ground or ceremonial ground, you know what they did? 3 days to 20th May. 3 days to 20th May, they were organizing march pasts in different towns, like in Bengui, like in Tombel. You saw the images in Mamfe. They organized these parades. 3 days, a day before 20th May. Can you stop for a moment and think about it? That 7 years ago, they would do this. Of course not. Of course not. Cameroon would not celebrate, take images, footages of march past parades anywhere in Ambazonia before 20th May. Of course not. But this time in Mamfe, they did it on the 19th. They brought a few school students. We're gonna get some of those images here on the screen. In Mamfe, they brought in a few school students, and of course, the majority out there were the military. Look at that. This was Mamfe on the 19th, ladies and gentlemen. That was Mamfe on the 19th. Now, who do you see there in that, what do they call it, grandstand? They are the military. You don't even see civilians. Civilians are seated far behind, and the whole place is saturated with the military. That was in Mamfe. Now, look at the civilians present in Mamfe at that march past on the 19th. Look at that. Those are the civilians, ladies and gentlemen. Those were the civilians present in the march past on the 19th, not on the 20th, in Mamfe town. Then they also went to this place, Tombel, after the restoration fighters gave it to them, and assembled school children, primary school children, to participate in the march past. This was on Thursday, the 18th. No, this was done on Wednesday, the 17th. Wednesday, the 17th, about 4 days, ladies and gentlemen, about 4 days before 20th May. This was done 4 days in Tombe before 20th May. And of course, they thought that this will not be known. This will not be seen. If we did not put out these images the very next day, don't be surprised. These images will be on CRTV, and they will be telling you how, oh, what a wonderful show. What a great parade in Tombe. But today, they cannot present these images anywhere as 20th May in Tombel, because Tombel had nothing like this on 20th May, ladies and gentlemen. Tombel had zero, nothing like this on 20th May. This was actually again carried out on the Wednesday the 17th. Wednesday the 17th in Tombel. And so this is to tell us one thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you look at these images, again, this is Mamfe. This is again Mamfe. You see the parade there. Guess who is marching there? The military. The military. That was Mamfe on the 19th. You see, it is all about the military. Look at that. It is all about the military conducting this parade in Mamfe on the 19th and not on the 20th May. But I don't know whether they understand the message. I don't know whether La République du Cameroun understands the message they are sending out. You know, their message was meant to placate the international community to the effect that, oh, Ambazonia, they are finally back. The war is over and life is coming back. You could see that Ambazonian participated in the 20th May. That is the message that La République du Cameroon wanted to let the international community know. Unfortunately, very unfortunately, it has not been the case. It has not been the case. And we give all the praise. We give all the praise to the restoration fighters and, of course, to all Ambazonian civilians who stayed home, to make sure that this date, this celebration did not happen in Ambazonia. Kumba was grounded, Bamenda was grounded, Boya was grounded, and again, La République du Cameroon, if they have not learned their lesson, they probably learn today that we are gone. That is the message. In the past few months, they have been going around and parading themselves and trying to send the message that they have defeated the restoration forces. But right in their midst, the restoration forces came right into their midst in Boya, and planted that explosive. They were just very lucky. I mean, those Bs and VIPs, they were just very lucky. It didn't take any of their lives. They were just very lucky. They were untouched. But look at the courage of the restoration fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a message to La République du Cameroon. This is a message to La République du Cameroon. If they think that the war is over, the war is not over. Ambazonia is only regrouping. Ambazonians are only regrouping. What I'm going to do in this broadcast today is I'm going to open the phone lines quite early enough. I would like to hear from all of you from Kumba, from Bengwe, where people were picked up, locked up, and forced to participate in the march past the next day. People were picked up, also locked up in Kumba, and were trying to force them to participate. You see the frustration of their colonial officer in Kumba. Very, very frustrated. They are practicing a march, a unity march, a peace march, he says, for 20th May, and the person on camera asked him, where are all the people? Where are all the people doing this, taking this practice? And the colonial official says they are coming. They are still to come. Listen to it.
Okay. We are launching the unity march.
Yes, effectively.
What's the impression?
That's the beginning. You know, the people are still on the way coming.
He said this is just the beginning. People are on their way coming. People are still going. As he speaks, he turns and looks behind to make sure Amba is not behind. Amba is not the one coming. So that was interesting, ladies and gentlemen. This particular guy, they call him Chamberlain. Somebody has been a tongue
to consolidate the unity of Cameroon.
For the people in Kumba to keep on respecting those counts and lockdowns. We appreciate you
for
launching
the unity march,
for your courage, because of what
this
guy you see here on your screen has been trying to do in Kumba. They say
consolidate the unity of
99
Cameroon.
days for the steed, 1 day for the owner. The guy you see on your screen, Chamberlain, somebody. We will get him one day.
We are launching
we
the
will
unity
get
march.
him one day. Of course.
What's the impression?
Is gone.
The beginning.
The likes of this guy, Chamberlain and Moja, their days are coming.
Consolidate the unity of Cameroon.
It takes a lot of planning, a lot of strategic planning to get rid of some of these guys who are a thorn on the flesh of our people. 20th May, in spite of the propaganda, dead and buried in Ambazonia. Can you imagine that
to consolidate
years ago,
the
they will
unity
be
of
trying to do
Cameroon
this
and
to
its
force it.
Yeah,
Who
thank you.
forced 20th May in the 7 years before today? Who forced it? Of course, nobody. People trooped out and celebrated it because we did not know our history. We were never told our history. We were never told that we became slaves of La République du Cameroun on 20th May 1972. We were never taught in any history class that on 20th May 1972, La République du Cameroun officially made us a province, ladies and gentlemen, in their territory. Now, do you realize, ladies and gentlemen, when somebody like Professor Julius Ngo sits on TV and says the Northwest and the Southwest can never live together, can never agree, they will never, ever, of course, speaking as somebody from the 11th province, the person from La République du Cameroun who claims to be Ambazonian, he said they will never. They forgot. I like something that I read, written by Paul Aya, who were until 1972, ladies and gentlemen, until 1972, we were either Southern Cameroonians or West Cameroonians, not Northwest and Southwest. It was one package. They are the ones who divided us. They are the ones who pulled us apart, and they did that so that they can come into the middle, knock the heads of people in the northern zone against those in the southern zone, vice versa, the same thing. And they did that so they could conquer us, so that when people in the southern zone rise up like they did the other day, Friday, April, or was it May 2nd or so, complaining about foreigners ruling their land, taking over their lands. When they rise up and do so the northern zone people will rise up and say, they divided us so that when people in the southern zone protest, they will say they are protesting against people in the northern zone. When people in the northern zone protest, they will say in Yaoundé or Douala or Bafoussam that these Bamenda people, they are never satisfied. You know, every moment they come into the middle to try to make us if the Bamenda man is a worse person. The Southwest man is a guy in the house. But when the Southwest man protests, they say it is a Bamenda man. That is the way they have always done. They divided us this way so they can put on this narrative to divide us. But let me assure them, when we take over our country and the closure is done, we will live as one country. Forget about northern zone, forget about southern zone. We will just be called Ambazonians. We will just be called Ambazonians. One thing that is going to happen is we will make sure every state in Ambazonia, I don't know how many states we're going to have, but I will make sure, we will make sure that there is independence for every state in the states that make up Ambazonia, so that that narrative of divide and rule will never be there, not in our new country. Not in our new country. So, but the message was sent. The message was sent today. And Cameroon better sit up and think about a solution to this. Else, as this thing furthers on, only their economy will be drained. They are fortunate they are still able to pay civil servants. They are fortunate that most of their companies are still up and running. Paracelsas are still up and running. They are fortunate. But I'm telling you, they cannot do this for another 7 years. They cannot do this for another 7 years. Cameroon doesn't understand. Comrades, listen to me. We are not in this war to beat the Cameroon army. Of course not. That is being pragmatic and real here. We know we are not here to beat them, but we will hold them on until Ambazonia is a free and independent country. We will use every means and every resource at our disposal to hold them responsible. If they think that they will kill all Ambazonian fighters until then everybody is gone, and then they just go on and completely take over and keep their appointed governors and appointed DOs. They are lying to themselves. That is not going to happen. They have been going around and telling the narrative that, oh, they have killed all the major fighters in Ambazonia. Yeah, the resistance remains powerful, remains impeccable. And I want to believe that from today, 20th May 2023, La Republic will have to go and sit and re-strategize. But no matter how much strategy you put out there, La Republic, you are not going to beat a guerrilla warfare. You have been told that again and again and again and again. You will not beat our guerrilla warfare. We are not looking forward to beat your military. We don't have your money. We don't have your equipment. We don't have your manpower. But I can assure you, we have the strategy to do away with your rule and control in our territory. We have that strategy, and we will do it. We will do it. We will do it. So, this is what I'm going to do today. I will open the phone lines and allow you. I'd like to hear from all of you. I want to hear from people in Bamenda. I want to hear from people in the Kumba. I want to hear from people in Boya, especially that explosive that took place in Boya today. I wish it took place on timely enough to clear everybody in that grandstand. I just hope it did. But at least they tried. They tried. So I want to hear from you in Boya. I'd like to hear from you in Bamenda, in Kumbo. Also, I learned there was a big attack in Bui today inside the city of Kumbo, where the restoration fighters blew up a La Republique du Cameroon army. And let me see. I can get this guy to come on and give us some details of what happened in Kumbo today. Let me see. I can get him on. All right. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to open the phone lines, get a report from the people. So please, if you are in Bamenda and you have a good handle, good information as to what happened in Bamenda, be ready to let us know what happened there. Be ready to let us know what happened there in Bamenda. The images you find here on the screen, this was in Indok, where the colonial officer, this is Indok, where the colonial officer This was in Indab, where the colonial officer forced, they picked up people, locked them up, and the following day they released them. They released them to go out and participate in the march past. All right, let me get to my comrade here in the.
Yeah, we'll be ready. They may come out from the noise. I should be ready in 3-4 minutes.
All right, call back immediately. You are ready, sir. Call back immediately. You are ready. Thank you.
All right, yeah.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at this colonial official in Indab there trying to explain to people, according to him, what the march past was all about. I learned that he forced the people to participate in the march past before then rallying them after to explain to them what the march past was all about. What the march past was all about. That was in Indab. They went out with palm fronts. According to them, it was a peace demonstration. You know, I understand that the Christian the celebrations, they are Christian the celebrations as unity celebrations, ladies and gentlemen, unity celebrations. That is what they were doing there at Indab. But again, the phone lines will be open if you are in Bamenda, if you are in anywhere in Ambazonia. We like to know what happened in your county, in your LGA. We like to know what happened there. If you are a restoration fighter and you want to call in to let us know what happened in your backyard, what you guys did in your backyard, please, you are free to call. I will make sure that you have the phone number, but before you call, make sure that the volume of your TV set is turned down. Make sure that the volume of your television is tuned down before you call, as there will be a delay and I will not get you. So please, you go ahead. I guess you know the number to call. Let's see if we can get that number on the screen. Oh, wow, it appears we don't have the number on the screen. All right, our technicians will get the number on the screen. Just stay tuned, and I will be right back, and continue to hit your share button. We are just starting, ladies and gentlemen. We are just starting. Go ahead, hit your share button, and I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for that long pause there. But I'm back. I am back, and you have the phone number right there on your screen. I am being joined right now by the comrade from the Scandi Media who has been monitoring what happened in the Bui, precisely Kumbo, today, May 20th. Another message event to La République du Cameroon. Comrade, good to have you, sir.
Thank you, Comrade Chris. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Tell me, from yesterday, or I believe it was Thursday, in Jakiri, the restoration fighters launched out severe attacks on La République du Cameroon forces, trying to instill the lockdown that began on Thursday. Tell us what has been going on there, sir.
Thank you very much once more for having me on ABS TV, and I come to you to give you a concise report of what has been happening. Actually, the La République forces tried to play a fast one this morning. That's why you were calling yesterday. It was already 5 a.m. Amber time this morning, and luckily we had our forces who were on guard and who saw them already coming to decorate the grandstand, and they had some civilians that they had arrested in order to use for the 20th May celebration. So our warriors were very vigilant, and as they were on guard, they came out in their numbers. Let me give credit to the Black Avengers and to the Malians for this wonderful operation that took place this morning as they stormed the grandstand, had a standoff with the military that was there, and the civilians who came to assist in the decorations. They all escaped to safety.
So the Bui warriors actually stormed the grandstand while the military was there?
Yes, the military actually was supervising the decorations, because nothing is happening in Bui without the supervision of the military.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when the Bui warriors got there, what happened? Were people there? Were civilians there?
The civilians were there in the morning already getting ready, and when we talk about the civilians, we are talking about the elites and the councillors.
Right.
Those who came back purposely for this, and those who were ferried also from a neighboring West region, who were paid some money to come and demonstrate, because that is the only closest place they can get to Buri, which is in Jakiri. But unfortunately for them, the unity warriors were already in place, and they attacked them, and they had gunshots, and the military escaped to the B barrack at the veterinary, and then they came up with a backup, but the civilians didn't show up again, because the military also said they had to demonstrate to show that today is their national day.
Wow. So they had to bring in people from the West Province, you said?
Yes, West region, yeah. From West region. It's
West
very
region,
close.
yeah.
It's the only entrance from Balikumbat area, that the Bangoland, that they can get to Bui, only through that way, because otherwise they will have to come through Santa, and that would be a long way for them to pass through Santa, Bamenda, and then Bui. But interestingly, Bui was on fire the whole of today. It's not only in Jakiri where you saw those boys taking control and invading and taking control over Jakiri. We had a very tricky one in Kumbu today.
Okay.
2 good battles, very successful. One was actually, what they did was that they first of all came in their numbers in the morning, and they spread all over town to stop the warriors from coming. So what they did was, we are told that they rented a van that came to the grandstand. I am saying this because if you see any images from Kumbu, from the main stadium, the municipal
You know,
stadium,
I have not seen any image from Kumbo so far. I think I saw one from Jakiri. It wasn't very good. We couldn't bring it on. But I have not seen any from Kumbo.
If you haven't seen that, that's why I'm saying, in case you see any from Kumbu, you shouldn't be surprised, because we actually heard a band playing at the municipal stadium in the morning. We do not know whether it was a military band that was playing, but we are told that immediately the band played, they started shooting gunshots because they knew, I think someone informed them that the warriors were coming, were on their way. The Bui warriors actually left from Kikaikom and came down towards a small village called Toy.
Okay.
And by the time they come, they had dismantled the whole area and disappeared. Interestingly, why the Bui warriors...
The Cameroon military had dismantled the whole area and disappeared.
Yes, and disappeared. But then we are told that some of them even went as far as to another LGA, which is Nkum. They had gunshots there. When the Bui Unity Warriors Major General, they had a team with the ADF commander, the ADF general, and the Omega 201 general. They took to Tatum, which is Nkum, where they wanted to face them because they heard that they had been terrorizing the population to come out and march. Immediately, they also heard that these three generals were on their way. They disappeared from Tatum after shooting. But these three generals made a U-turn and came down to Kumbu, the main town. When they came, they dispatched their boys into the various quarters because they knew that these people were going to come in for celebration.
Yeah.
When they waited and they didn't come, they knew that what could only provoke them to come out would be gunshots. So they made sporadic gunshots at the main square, and immediately they did that, 3 military trucks responded from top in the administrative quarters. And then they came out, and immediately they came out, the Bui Unity Warriors knew where they will go, and they went there and were waiting for them. Immediately the first military vehicle approached, they used an IPG on target.
Wow.
Completely destroyed. When I say completely destroyed, out of the 3, people are still doubting if anyone survived out of that.
That was this morning.
Yes, this is this afternoon.
This afternoon. Okay.
Amber time. And before it happened, another, Bui Warriors is made up of, if we have Bui Warriors, is made up of at least 29 barracks of the ARFs and at least 5 barracks of ADF. Meaning that they were all taking action in various places. And as that was happening about 2 kilometers away from Kumbu, where the military was planning to install another biggest military barrack, we are told, and that is in a village called Njamnyoi.
Okay.
The warriors stormed the place this morning and dismantled again the tent that they had put up, they had mounted. Rumor even has it that at least 9 military officers were neutralized immediately.
Did the helicopter show up as usual?
No, we haven't seen any helicopter so far from the report I got. And as I told you that I was also in an urgent event for the refugees. So that's the last update that I got, was that the warriors, I spoke to the general who led it, the general of the Air Force. He confirmed to me that all of them, there were about 5 barracks that stormed that one in January, that all of them were safe and they had returned to base. And that is when the one in Kungu took place. So we are also awaiting heavy casualties from Kungu itself.
All right. Comrade, thank you for that information. Please stay on top of it. I definitely will be coming back to you by Monday for more.
Yes, thank you very much. And just to remind you that the warriors, the Unity Warriors, are still awaiting your support, and you said you were going to make a fundraiser for these boys. Trust me, if you see these boys going out on daily basis, we need to replenish.
I promise you, we will do a special fundraise for the Bui Warriors. We definitely will do that. Thank you for reminding me, though.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. All right, before I get to my guest who is with me here, let's see this caller from Ground Zero. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Australia.
Okay, and what is in your mind, sir?
Yes, I wanted to share a contribution about this crisis that we've been in for so many years. And I've noticed one thing, even though I've not been contributing like advice, like to share one thing, but there's an advice I wanted to share today.
You know, we are live on television.
Yeah, I know.
All right, go on.
So the advice I wanted to share today is, if we as Ambazonia, if we're not fighting La Republic, instead of fighting La Republic, we are having like misunderstanding in between us every day.
That is not what that's not what we are talking about today, sir. We're talking about 20th May today. I wish we stay there.
Okay, then I will preserve my card next time.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Uncle B, it's good to have you, sir. This has been a wonderful day in Ambazonia, where Ambazonians have sent a very strong message to La République du Cameroon. You are not going to run away with this. If you are living in the illusion that you have won, the war is over, you saw it today, is that not a message that they should be thinking out there, Uncle Bill?
Yeah, Comrade Chris, I'm happy to be with you again today, and greetings to our brave fighters on Ground Zero and to our population as a whole for respecting this day. Actually, I want our people to know one thing. Today is the D-Day that we thought Larry will have a message from us that we already left. And our people have sent it sound and clear that we left.
Yeah.
But I want our people to know one thing. When a war is fought, it's not fought on a minute by minute basis. There are some time it will last about on 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 week, 2 weeks without people shooting or people killing others. And there's a time that action come back and you see it. That what we are hearing all over Ambazonia today. La République should have a major clean from the Ambazonian population and Ambazonian diaspora, or all that is Ambazonia today. That they will be mistaken to think that our boys are not up to the task. Just follow the narrative our correspondent from we just gave, how those boys worked. It's an action to be cherished. And action that we will not want to hear that it happens again.
Oh no, it's a bad day. It's a sad day for them. They don't have any report to write home about.
Actually, it's in all of Ambazonia, not in just all places, all of Ambazonia, this is happening. Nobody is going to the field to march. They're catching people on the street to get the march and practice. My little brother told me in Bamenda yesterday that they were having images or telling that around Funchal Street they were gathering people around there to make a sort of a march pass or rehearsing before they go to the field. But the problem here is we should know one thing, that we have to put our heels, we have to fund our boys. Believe me, you will not expect that tattered boys that the boy we had a few years ago are able to face that face to face to what we're seeing today. It's a message we should be proud of. It's a message, despite the mixed messages, we have one goal. The 20th May should be boycotted.
Yes.
And it has been effectively been boycotted. I saw the images you are showing from Kumba, with that, whether it's Ajo marching on the street by himself and said that the population is coming. What a disgrace. But the problem is that these people, they've lost shame. They don't have shame anymore. Suppose that even when they only by himself, he's being paid to do that. We shouldn't be bothered about him going to the street by himself, but it should only give a message that they have failed. Even despite that they tried to get people to march, they were still not able to do it.
Yeah.
God will bless us, communicate. God will bless us. I will be gone. And we're already gone. We don't need only the final touch, and we will be gone. 20th May is a day of betrayal. It's a day
They're
of
launching the unity march.
no Ambazonia person will ever think that a man who is being sold by the captor and is asked again to go celebrate his captivity is absolute stupidity for us to do that. Lady, there are people doing what you are seeing the band with the two big people with a big stomach like my own here marching on the street by them, say disaster street, and they feel that they are in control. They will tell their master they're in control. But
Right.
images like this will tell them that they're not in control. Is that not true, Comrade Chris?
Right. Well, that's a man who is in control, I guess.
That's the thing. He's saying that he's in control. Let's say people are coming, he's on the street by himself. So we don't need to tap ourselves by the back and say that Ali, we are doing a great job. If we are gotten to this level today, if anybody had to dampen our effort, he has a reason for that. And not simple reason that you do and I do. 20th May is a forgotten day. Any day that is being celebrated in Ambazonia, orchestrated for Liberia to Cameroon, 20th May and 11th February are all dead. They need to rethink and follow us to the table to negotiate. God
Absolutely.
bless my people.
Uncle B, there are two people in Mbengwe, the mayor of Mbengwe and the DO for Mbengwe. These people whose images I will be having on the screen, they are a threat, a big threat to the tranquility of the people in Mbengwe, and we have learned of their case. Tell me what you know of these colonial officers in Mbengwe. I've forgotten the name, but you can see their images there. I learned that the DO and the mayor were forcefully getting people arrested, locked up, so that they could come out, take them out today to participate in the march past in Mbengwe.
You are very right, Comrade Chris. The problem, you will not see an image whether they succeeded to get this, because news got us as early as on the 18th or 17th. That's what they are trying to do, to get people to the street, get people on the street, keep them in their keeping, and then on the today, they wouldn't lead them out there and force them to go and march. We haven't seen the images coming from Mbengwe yet, but you know that's a thing that is done all over Ambazonia to get people march, and then they get arrest people on the streets, keep them, feed them, and then on the day of, the D-Day like today, they say, okay, they are sending them to the street to show the world. But I want to wonder something. The world they are all represented in Ambazonia. I mean, in Cameroon. Suppose Cameroon in quote. And those people give that report. Even if they give reports and tweet it as much, Comrade Chris, the truth shall never fail. It will always prevail. It's just a matter of time for these people to be doing what they are doing. And the problem is in Mbengwe, I mean in Mbengwe and Momo as a whole. We're still trying to regroup. You know, when Momo was shattered by the idea of election and it's supposed to be this and this, we got derailed, but now we're teaming up to see what we can do to rebuild Momo as it used to be. And it was just a matter of 1 day, a matter of 2 days. And of course, we are praying on our boys to cooperate with us. Be sincere when we talk. Let's know that we are talking for the sake of Ambazonia and not for the sake of an individual. These guys we are seeing here, most of them live in Bamenda. Even though Mbengwe is not as, I would say, Libialem, it used to be like Libialem. And the forces that we had in Mbengwe, in Giam, all of those places, kind of like backtrack a little bit, and people thought that they were coming back to be on their own. But they will get the results in a few days, few weeks to come. That we are not sleeping. We united was not what we saw in Boyo about 2, 3, 4 days ago with the APLC. That is what is going to be happening in all of Amazonia. Let our be ready. The tides are going to turn against them. And those fat guys you see their faces over there, it's just a matter of time. They will be identified.
Uncle
And
B,
arrest
I'd
my
like you to
case.
take a look at the image there on your screen with those two. With those, look at when we say people, students were forcefully picked up and forced to go out. I mean, they were forcefully picked up, handed Cameroon flags into their hands, and forced to go out and take part in this parade. You can see. Look at what they are wearing there. Did you wear that on 20th May when you were there in primary school, secondary school? Did you wear those things?
You had official uniform that you wear and you look a student.
No, look at their legs. Look, all of them. I mean, in those days, if you do not have white canvas, white socks, and or sandals, you were dismissed from school, or you had to go through severe punishment. But look at that, to tell you, they force students, they are all, look at, is that the way students dress nowadays, with jeans?
Comrade Chris, when I was in JHS Mafia, we had sandals, khaki trouser, and a blue shirt. You could not enter a line to match without that. Impossible. When I moved from this to JHS Mafia, JHS Limbe, it was the same thing. You could not be on the line to match without your black shoe, your navy blue pant, and a sky blue shirt. You will not do that, Jackie. You will not do that. But look at this guy. But this is an example to show that these guys were not prepared to match. I thought they want to borrow this uniform from somewhere. And
yeah, it appears that you are very correct. I am beginning to think those uniforms were borrowed from somewhere, and the guys who were picked up, forcefully picked up, they gave it to them to put it on, because you see they're all wearing assorted pants. Do you see that?
Look at some of them. Some of them in short pants.
Yeah, one of them is short pants and wearing changshu.
So that's the desperation, comrade. That's the desperation. They don't want to think that's something, but those of us who know, when you look at things like this, even in 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, when school was still going on, you can't have a child enter a line to match with what we are seeing on these guys' legs. Even their pants and their dressing. They just went to a school, borrowed this uniform and gave them to wear, and they say, look, they couldn't borrow pants because the pants were not there. But here, see what is happening here is an indication to its self-desperation. We know it, and we know where we stand and know what we are up to. It doesn't matter of fact that we keep to what we know we can do best. It doesn't matter of time, and the time will come.
Now, Uncle B, we were talking about Mbengui a few minutes ago with what the mayor and what the colonial divisional officer are doing in Mbengui, intimidating people, shutting down people's shops. That image you find on your screen, you can see the sealed shops in Mbengui. You can see the date on it, May 19, 2023.
2023.
Yes, that was done just, that was actually yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Forcing people to go out, because people obeyed ghost town, because people obeyed lockdown. Look at, they moved door to door, shed to shed, and seal it up. That's what the colonial officials are doing in Mbengui, because the people respect lockdown. Every single shop there is sealed, and those shops, ladies and gentlemen, they are sealed by these two people whose faces you find on the screen. I really hope that the restoration fighters in Momo, all of Momo, and I mean all of Momo, will take good care of these colonial officers trying to make life miserable for the people in Mbengui. People have civil rights. People have civil rights. They have no rights to go and seal people's shops, and we are hoping that between now and Wednesday, every single shop that they seal up in Mbengui will be open. Again, we're hoping that between now and Wednesday, every one of these shops is open, unsealed. We will be monitoring the news. If they are not unsealed, we will make sure that their own homes and offices are sealed, So maybe they may
Comrade
feel the
Chris,
pinch of what the innocent civilians go through. Go on, Uncle B.
you know, in addition to what you are saying there, when they did it yesterday, another additional message they gave them was that if somebody can, you want to get your store open, go out there and march today. Your store will open. But if it was open yesterday, you don't go out to march, your store will never be
Oh,
open.
that was one of the messages, I guess.
Of course, yes. Of course, yes. If you want your store to be reopened, come out and march today and refuse to come out and march today. If you don't want your store to be open, then stay home. Now that everybody is stayed home, we are now calling on our forces on the ground
Yes.
to make sure this, first and foremost, those stores do not belong to them. It is our right to get our stores. Open it and close it when you want. But since we are in a very sort of a crude system, they will think that by intimidation, people will yield to what they wanted to do. Unfortunately, they've tried it over and over and over and have failed. It's a time for them to learn a lesson and let it go. May God bless our people.
Absolutely. And I hope that the restoration forces, they are listening to us and they will be proactive. The restoration forces in Momo, listen to the sound of my voice. The mayor of Momo, sorry, the mayor of Mbengui and the colonial officials, DO in Momo, if by Wednesday, every single shop they sealed remains unsealed, their own homes should be sealed up and their offices too should be sealed up. That this message is for the restoration fighters in Momo. We can no longer accept their impunity upon innocent people who are as victims as everybody else. So by Wednesday, we expect to see every single shop that is sealed in Mbengui Market unsealed. We are waiting to hear that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, I'd like to hear from you, from your neck of the wood, from Kumba, from Bamenda, everywhere. We'd like to hear from you. The phone number is there on your screen. Call that number and tell us what happened in your neighborhood today, in your town, in your city. Let's know what went on there. Again, the phone number is there on the screen. Make sure that you turn down the volume of your set before you call. Make sure you turn down the volume of your set before you call, please. The line is open right now. The line is open right now. Go ahead and call. We'd like to hear what happened in your neighborhood, in Kumba, everywhere. We'd like to know what happened in your neighborhood. Go ahead and call with the WhatsApp number that you find on the screen there. Now, Uncle B, let us talk about what happened in the Bamfe, in Tombel, and I think also in the Mbengui, where a lot of people to Cameroon for the first time. This has never happened before. For the first time, rallied people and conducted some of these parades 3 days before 20th May. What were they trying to do there? What message were they trying to send, Uncle B?
So, Comrade Chris, this is simple. They've seen that they cannot do it on the D-Day. So what can they tell their master they did? And it is obvious that the next day they're going to be sending it to the international community saying that this took place and this is what happened. And of course, their master Yode should automatically know that they have failed to stop this day. They failed to intimidate Ambazonia, but they are refusing, instead of acknowledging that we cannot meet up with the forces of these people. They are trying to touch the game by saying that, okay, we should do it a day before. It's automatically a defeat to know that you cannot match up at the Ambazonians on the D-Day, but the world knows our D-Day. That's the way they look forward to doing it. But look at it this way, Comrade Chris. It is obvious that when ladies, some of those schools that were made to march the day before, our children are children. They might not even tell them why they are marching for their parents to even know that are marching for a Youth Day or 20th May celebration. They don't tell them or something, but they will carry those images and bring them. But the one thing, to be very honest, here, I want to say here is I do not know our people, how they will lay themselves. These people still say come and go. And if they know anyway, if actually they know that they are going to march and they will be broadcasted on the 20th May and they still go out there. But then the situation here is a acceptance of defeat for Liberia to Cameroon for the 20th May D-Day that we cannot match up. The only thing we have to do, how do we serve our master? They go doing what they are doing. Automatically, even Tom and Dick will know that they have failed. Our lockdown day, they have failed. All over the place, they have failed. The Ambazonians have won in that respect. If you ask our people to be peacefully show their interest in what they want, they automatically just showed it out there. That is where we stand. You want to dribble by any way, but the world knows. And we know there is a sign of defeat that they cannot meet up on the 20th May. So they'll find a way out, which is not 20th May celebration anyway. It's something different. So all of us should just rejoice that we defeated them on this day. No need doubting it.
Yeah. I mean, that is the message. Look at this image. This is coming from Boya. Now, all the people you see there, those are the DDR guys. The DDR, I call them prisoners because they are essentially prisoners. They cannot go, they don't have liberties to go out and do anything. And I'm sure before they came here, they must have been given some maybe 500 francs to go there, use it, buy some soda, Coke, or whatever. And
you know what? You know what? These people you see here, honestly, there's nobody. If they say go there and die, you will go there to go and die. If me I talk for people, if die, but they come today, an 80-year woman will run and climb a mountain because you know one die. So for these boys marching here, if you are in that place, you fear your life. You see, from time to time we report that they take out these people, go kill them. On a day like the one they say you must do this, sometimes, let's be real, it is difficult to say I'm not going. They don't want it to be dead. You don't want to be killed. So these guys are forced to come here. Look at their jeans pants, all what they have on. But where they have the t-shirt from them, I don't know. But the problem is, it is sometimes very difficult when you are in a set situation. They say, let's go and marry. You say, no, I'm not going. You don't want to be killed. They say, oh, the amber. So the boy just go there as a sort of a forceful push for them to go out there. But those of us who look should automatically just know that that's what is happening at gunpoint.
Now, I'd like you to take a look at this other message, Uncle, this other image, Uncle B. This is still in Boya, and this is supposed to be students of the University of Boya taking part in the march past. Of course, we understand they were intimidated to go out and participate in the march past. It was the same thing up in Bamenda with the University of Bamenda, where we learned in Bambili they were all forced and intimidated to make sure that they go out and participate in the march past. What should we do to these schools, these universities? They are adults, and I don't think they should be forced to be participating in this event. They are adults.
It is very true, Comrade Chris, that they cannot be forced. They are not supposed to be forced. But what do you expect from a government like the one we have in Larubido, Cameroon, doing what they are doing? As I already said, in such a situation that you're in a school, they say, let's go there. You can only run and go somewhere. But when you come back, you're still going to be a victim. So also that in such a situation, in such a setting, it is very difficult for you to say, I will not be part of it and I have to run away. It's sometimes when it is done selectively, it is so bad. But when it is done collectively, it is difficult for them to go handle all of these people. So for the fact that they'll go and the whole faculty say you are going to march. And of course, these are the people we think are going to take over from us tomorrow. That's what the leaders of tomorrow. If you cannot be, as the community said, we are not going to do this, it is funny. It is really funny. That university that are supposed to teach us are supposed to do, they are the very first people who are going to carry placard. You know why? Because if these gentlemen cannot be controlled by their parents. They're already away from a parent. Parent cannot say you must stay home. But again, sometimes these guys will say we value the education we are doing. They don't have the mind that you have and I have. Say I whether I stay in school or I don't go to school. They value that. And then they are intimidated. Say you know you are going to be dismissed. They are not going longer going to be a student. They are intimidated to do and they are forced to go out to do what they are doing.
Right, right. Let
And
me
then for
take
us to
you.
think that we can go after each and every one of them. But some of them will see the consequences as the time goes on. And
Right.
others will learn.
Let me take you to Victoria, where events took place there, but I have not seen any civilians taking part in the march past in Victoria. All I see in Victoria is the military. The military. Now take a look. Take a look. Take a look at Victoria. This is Victoria. Look at that. That was Victoria today. Now you see those are military. They are military, and I guess that is their divisional officer there. That was again today in Victoria. That's another one. That is their military, the military parade in the Victoria today. Again, still in Victoria. Now this is what they call this Cameroon National Youth Council. These are the Frangbia surrogates.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
the Frangbia surrogates in Fako, and they are working for their money. They are working for their money. There is no doubt they were giving lots of money to go out there and stage that. Then you also have, again, these are all military officials. In Victoria, I have not seen any civilians apart from the Frangbia surrogates. They are all military guys. Look at that. That is Victoria. All military. I do not see civilians. I don't know how lockdown was in Victoria. I would like to know. Now, I'm getting a message here that people are not watching ABS on the ground. I like somebody to call me and confirm that. I like somebody to call and confirm that because I don't know why people will not be able to watch it on the ground, because everything looks okay here. It may just be with, if that is going on the ground, may just be with a satellite company. But over here, everything is okay. People are watching on here on Roku and watching on the social media. But again, Uncle B, that is Victoria. All military affair. It was all a military affair. What do you make of this? Because normally Victoria, all the Francophones will show up and participate in events like this. But there seem to be conspicuous absence today of them.
Exactly, Comrade Chris. I spoke to my daughters and my senior brother's daughter who lives in Batoke. He says since morning nobody has been able to go to town to see what is happening in town because there's no movement. And I was very surprised that she confirmed to me that on Mondays, our ghost town, our traditional ghost town on Monday are often respected in Limbe. We call it Victoria. So if you see, Secretary, it's support is to be expected. What do you expect the military to do to Pobia? Who is then is the military in
Well,
Ambazonia?
no, that's not even the point I was trying to make. The point I was trying to make is the fact that you don't find civilians, whereas normally.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm getting there because the problem
Yeah,
is
go
the
on.
military should not be a surprise. But normally they would do that, they will march. But the taste of the day is rated as whether the participant or the onlookers, the population, the common man went out there to march and to participate and to watch the march. Well, it was a day that almost the whole town was bubbling in our days. That all the youths were lining the street, especially on that place of the march pass. It was supposed to be jam full of people. The fact that you don't see every percent people sitting in that grandstand should automatically tell you what was in Limbe today. We expect the population to line up the streets, line up where these guys are
Right,
marching,
right.
but you don't see anybody standing right there. It should tell you how our people, our population reacted to the day of today with La to Cameroon, except their employees. And all of the guys are marching at La to Cameroon. Even if we are not La to Cameroon, it is difficult to be indisciplined among them. But as the common man that sits in his house, our population, the common man, you can't see any of them around there. It will automatically tell you the respect to this day or the non-respect of this day in Ambazonia today, in Limbe or California or Victoria.
What do you say to the civilian population that massively boycotted this event? Shouldn't we be very proud of every one of them?
Of course, of course. That's why I say if you ask our people to freely decide, Secretary Chris, all the things we are talking about referendum will be 99.99.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a good connection there. I was going to get there.
Yes.
That's a good connection there.
Was going to be 99.99. It will tell you when we call for a day like this, when we look on a day like Mondays, the reaction, the respect of those days to no matter the intimidation, our people have made it a point of duty to make sure that they respect those days because nobody goes into a heart to intimidate them to go out to do this. In the sense that to our population, we say bravo. We say even despite the sufferings, despite the hard life, the inability to do what we used to do, they still stand firm to our call. And to their call, the call of Ambazonia of wanting to be free and not to rely on somebody that you have to beg each time. Comrade Chris, who is that person that you have your property? Somebody can take it from you and then will ask you that ask for me before I can give you. And when he gives, he will ask you to go out and celebrate the fact that he took your property from you. You think Ambazonians are dummy? Even my mother in the village know that the real injustice being done here. To our population, we just call on them. We say thank you. And we continue to say thank you. It's just a matter of time we will get there. When you believe and stand for it, it will come. If you don't believe, if you doubt it, that's when it can be shaky. But from these actions of our people, we know that they believe that we are independent and Labri will be gone. It's just a matter of time. By heeding to such calls, it's an example to tell that they are with us in their spirit. Let one or two occasions not make or be very deceptive. Oh, maybe this is happening. It happens. But when you ask them to exercise that, you see the tremendous success, like what just happened today. It take up to that thing they call referendum. Like we will equal peace for a trust, I say. I'm telling you.
So, Uncle B, what do you make of, I mean, going back to this referendum question, what do you make of the fact that since Ambazonians stepped out and started clamoring for this referendum and overwhelmingly supporting it, La République du Cameroon's media, none of their newspapers, be it French or English, none of their television stations, their radios, none of them have talked about referendum. They haven't brought it up for discussion, not once. In the past, you will see Equinox TV, Canal 2, Prime Media or whatever they call it, Guardian Post, and so you will see them talking about some of these things, but they have been completely silent. Is it possible that the head of state has sent a message to them, you don't dare talk about it?
Yeah, actually, Comrade Chris, it's caught them off guard because maybe they thought that we could not even think of something like this. What defense are they going to give to this? What defense? You claim that Ambazonians are few distractors out there doing it. And then when somebody says, okay, let's go to the field and see who is going to win the game, you don't have an answer for that. What do you expect them to say? It may be they're still thinking what they're going to say, but for now, they don't know what to say. because it's a situation that is very delicate for people like them. Because they know that when the international community and Ambazonia people come to say, let's go and play the game, and there was confusion in the first game, we have to replay. Let's go to the field and play the game. They are lacking the players that will go to play in the sense that they don't have the material, don't have the substance to show that okay, we can win this game. So what do we expect from them to do? Say what? They've sung about one united and never separated, one Cameroon being one indivisible, indivisible. But we see other nations, even if individuals, they still go out to exercise that right. So what reason would they give Ambazonia say we don't want you to go exercise that right? It's universally acknowledged that everybody go out there and ask for it through the referendum thing we talk about. And let the world automatically know that this is what the people want, self-determination. Now it is very difficult for them to know what they are going to say about it. Believe me, yours, they are thinking of what they are going to say. It's not that they don't know what to say. They are thinking of what they're going to say, but it's so still difficult to navigate it to their advantage. Very difficult. And to the Ambazonia, ladies and gentlemen, Comrade Chris, I know that there's nothing in the world that everybody will say yes to. If we think that everybody will say yes to everything we talk about, we are wasting our time. Kim Jong-un in North Korea will not be having people still running behind him. Paul Biya will not be seeing people still running behind him. Or his son will not be saying that he must run to. He doesn't even know that his father has failed. Will not be saying that he's going to. But there are still people who are running behind them. Said, let us not be deceived to think that everybody at Ambazonia will say yes to everything that is proposed. We should make it abundantly clear that lots of people, whether it is red, you call it white, whether it is what you call the people who say that it is white, it's not red. So long as the majority side, I will see now that with the referendum thing, they side the majority side with acceptance to it. We move on. Is there a way you think that all ambassadors must come in to say yes? What about the people who are paid by liability to come out to say no? How do you convince that for everybody to say yes? And they are all in our midst. So what do we do? In every situation, 50 plus 1 is a majority, we move ahead. And that's what is supposed to happen with the referendum thing. If we think that the likes of some people will come to say no, we accept to it. We are wasting our time. The people that went to the meeting with the American, with the friends of Ambazonia, 14 of them, as I know, you were one of them. And those that will come in, let's move forward with it. It was a suggestion. And I want it known here that the worries of our people who do not even know what we are saying, they say, oh, that is going to rig. I was fighting with one guy yesterday who was telling me, oh, you guys are still saying that the machinery for rigging in Cameroon has been played for centuries, or for decades, you cannot. He did not even understand how a referendum internationally supervised is conducted. They are still relying that it's a Larry Blue that is going to do it. And if they are thinking that Larry Blue is going to buy the international community that will do it, why do you think that even when we go to the table, the international third party that will say they will not buy that third party? They can equally buy that third party. We cannot be running away from our shadows. This is the unique opportunity that has come to us to think that a peaceful separation or liability to Cameroon as is done all over the world. But as some of our brothers say, if we don't fight to the end, we must keep fighting until then. I don't know how long. And it seems to say that even we fight, as one of the whatever, we'll see end up on the table, the referendum can then come then. Therefore, mean that they still believe in the referendum. It doesn't matter that we should fight before we get there. Why would it get your people killed and killed and killed before you get to where you know that you would normally still get there? What is the rationale behind that? But I wanted to know that that referendum is not going to be done by Liberia to Cameroon. It's not going to be done by Ambazonians. They can come to the table as observers to say how it's being done to safeguard their interests. But it is the international community supervised by the United Nations that are going to do it. So let that fear be dissipated. Thank you. Comrade, can you hear me?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It looks like you are
You
mute.
can hear me now. All right. So thank you, Uncle B. We are learning that ABS is not being watched on the ground. It is frozen, but just was saying that ground zero should rest assured that will be taken care of. It should be a satellite problem and not a problem from the studio here, because we are okay here, and those on the Roku can watch it, and social media can watch it. We will make sure that this reruns and reruns for about 3 times, so that by the time that it is turned back on, Ground Zero can watch this. So, but again, the phone number, you know the phone number you want to contribute, please call the phone number. Call the phone number if you want to contribute, and we will take your call. And make sure that you turn down the volume of your set before you call. Make sure that the volume of your set is turned down, and you can call from anywhere. You can call from anywhere. Now that we know Ground Zero is not very much connected on the TV. Mama G is joining me here. Mama G, it will be great to hear your thought on what is going on the ground today, with Ground Zero sending a powerful, strong message to Cameroon that the idea of one and indivisible country was long gone. What message do you have for Ground Zero, Mama G? Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I am just so happy. I'm elated. There are people who keep saying what we are doing is those in the diaspora. And the word is coming from the ground that this is their choice. It is not what diaspora wants. This separation is what the people on the ground want. And so they are speaking loud and clear. I have looked at all the pictures and the videos, and everybody is indoors. Is even those places where La Republic people go to march, they are marching by themselves, and there's no observers. There are no Ambazonians marching with them. So we have said that the international community has asked La Republique for them to sit with us and discuss the root cause of this problem. And La Republique refuses. So now is our opportunity, because the voice that has been heard so far has been the voice of La Republique. This is the time for us. Say, okay, come, let's have a referendum, like the people of the British Southern Cameroons have a referendum, so that they can speak, so that we can hear their voice. And then some people say, no, we cannot, we are one and indivisible. The Republic says, oh no, the thing is that it's just a fringe group, some zealots who are in the diaspora. But I'm so happy of what is happening today, because this is when this matter of referendum is really being talked about. And our people are staying indoors, showing people that this is what they want. It is not something that the Republic keeps saying, oh, it's some fringe groups, it's some people in the diaspora, it's not the people back home. And these boys back home have been fighting for 7 years. How can you claim that it's the people in the diaspora? This is a well exercised power, a well exercised voice of the people.
Thank you, thank you. And what is your take on the pre-march pass or parade in Tomber, in Mamfe, in Bengui? Where, I mean, this never happened in your days, where
No.
La Republic of Cameroon will go out and organize 20th May 3 or 2 days before 20th May just for propaganda. This never took place in the past. What do you make of that?
Look, the what is happening now is that they have seen that, it's above them. They've seen how we've marched them. It's so strange that the whole La Republique, the whole big country, they are fighting against a small territory, a small uh, arm. I just call it a small arm, and they want to fight with us. Now we have indicated to them that we are all powerful, that we can match them toe to toe, and they are looking, they are scrambling for something to do. They thought they could force our people. It goes back to what I'm saying, that they think that they own us. They think that it's only a fringe group which is interested in separation. But now they have seen that it's everybody, and the boys have dug in their heels. They have indicated that they don't want to be part of La Republique. They are ready to fight, and La Republique have seen the determination of the people. And that's why they have to do something, go and take pictures before time, because they know that there's no way, there's no room for them. They cannot come and march on 20th May. Our boys will not let them do it. And so they have to, it's all a pretense, it's a facade. They want to show the international community, show the world that they are still on top. But anybody who is reasonable is going to see it, because fortunately our people are able to take these pictures and show the whole world that this is what is being done the day before, because they know they are incapable of doing it the day of. So they do it days before, and then try to come and play it on their TV to indicate that they are marching on that day. They have a defiance. They put our children at risk, put children at harm's way. But we are not going to harm our children. We have never done anything against our children. They have killed our children and pretended that we are the ones who did it. And we are not going to do anything. This is a march past which takes place before the day of the march past. It is so shameful. It is so shameful that people who say they have a country, they cannot even for 7 years make a dent. So we have shown them that this is our country, and we will continue to maintain it so.
Just getting, Mama G, I am just getting a message here that heavy shooting and bombing seriously going on now in Bamenda City. What we've never heard before. That is a message coming from somebody in Bamenda, that heavy shooting and bombing seriously going on now in Bamenda, and it adds this is something they have not heard or seen before, talking about the intensity of what of the shooting going on in Bamenda at this moment. Again, if you can call, go ahead and call and let us hear what you are thinking about this event of today. Ladies and gentlemen, the phone number is there on the screen. Go ahead and call. Again, ground zero. We are sorry to learn about the technical difficulties receiving ABS on the ground, but we assure you before the day is over, ABS should be back on satellite. We've just spoken to the satellite company and they are going to take care of that. But for those of you in the diaspora, you want to call and chip in your contribution about this subject and the message coming from ground zero, please call that number on the screen and make sure that before you call, the volume of your TV set or whatever you are watching from is turned down. And this person says, yes, it is true. I'm only watching on Facebook. That is ground zero writing. Only watching from Facebook. All right. Okay. So, going forward, Mama G, going forward, what do we need to do to concretize on this victory of today? What do we need to do? I think, as far as I'm concerned, what we need to do is reinforce the ability of firepower on the ground. Now, one thing that La République du Cameroon may not understand, that our boys, in spite of what they do, our boys are only getting courageous and courageous, brave and brave and brave and brave on every occasion. Remember the mountain race. where they planted an explosive right there close to Bongo Square. Now today, we learn that another explosive was planted right there at the parade ground. And a lot of people think that they can cope with this. If anything, our boys are only getting courageous. And I think they have not seen the last yet as far as these IEDs are concerned. We need to empower. We need to empower these boys from LGA to LGA, county by county, to make sure that every one of them is empowered to take care of their local colonial officials in that town. In Bengui in particular, Kumba, another place, Mamfe, another place. Of course, every town and city where colonial officials think that they have an upper hand, the restoration forces have to be empowered to take care of the Mamaji place.
Yeah, I think the performance of the boys now is going to encourage everybody, is going to make everybody sit up and know that we are really doing well, we're at the finish line. Our people should know that the boys are doing wonders on the ground. It is not what somebody is telling you, it is what all of us can see. And therefore, we should rally. Every LGA, every county should rally together and put their resources together and assist these boys. The boys are doing their work on the ground. Our responsibility on this end is to come up with the resources to assist them. So, for those who say we are the ones, the people in the diaspora are the ones who won the war, the people in the diaspora are assisting. Are seeing what our brothers on the ground are doing. The boys on the ground are the ones who have lived the life. They have seen the difficulties. Some people out here have not lived that difficulties. So we can see it through their eyes. And when our people cry, we should listen. It is time for us to stand by our boys. It is time for us to make sure that they have what it takes to finish the war and bring us to Boya. We want the Republic to know that if they are not ready to sit with us and discuss the root cause of this problem, if they are not ready to solve this problem, we will continue. We will support our boys because it is not us telling them what to do. We are supporting them because we agree with them, because this is the life they are living, a hard life. Children don't have good schools. They bring people who come and talk to them in French. They don't understand what it is that is happening. There's no water. There are lots of things. If I look at when I was a child, how well West Cameroon was, I'm thinking that by now we would have been to the moon and back. But on the contrary, we've reversed, we've gone backwards. And so these boys who go to school, have certificates, are unable to even create jobs. Even if they wanted to, they won't give them license to create jobs. They won't hire them. The boys, if you see children are walking with shoes, if you look under the shoes, there are holes under the shoes because they've worn them and they are worn out. And so this is what they are telling. They continue. They've been doing it for 7 years. Is telling La Republique that until they can resolve this problem, until they can have their own country where they will have the freedom. Like I said a couple of days ago, it used to be that people start working at the end of the month, they get salary. Here now, you don't get your salary. You wait, you have to compile what they call compile dossier, and you go to Yaoundé and sit there after you're so poor, you've taken loans, you've done whatever, and you cannot even eat, and then you go there and bribe and bribe. By the time they pay you, you've already spent more than half of the money. So our children or our parents, our brothers and sisters back home are tired. They are tired and they are ready for their own country where they can have the Anglo-Saxon system that used to exist in our country. Thank you.
Yes, Uncle B. Isn't this the time that these boys should really be fortified to make sure that they do even better than they are doing today? They have proven that they are courageous.
Actually, Comrade Chris, from the beginning to date, even the number of our fighters have sometimes, let's say, reduced. When I used to watch the Boya Mountain race, sometimes we start from the field, about 5,000 people. Before they get to upper farm, there will be around some 50 or 60. I want to believe that our boys who are still standing today, there's no way you can dribble them. They've stood the test of time. And for anybody who believes in a struggle, believe in becoming independent, if you are not able to make these boys exercise what they know best, then you are not for this independence. Can you imagine some of who make noise on Facebook every day? And when they say let's contribute and send some material for these boys, they disappear, they run away. But they are the best abusers on WhatsApp and all of those things every day. To be very honest, communicate, I do not know how difficult. Well, I was thinking that this idea of empowering our boys should cut across another group lines. Well, it's all going to these boys. If you see what they have done today and what they pass through every day, and they still do what they do, it's for each and every one of us to make sure that the boy have, even if they cannot have 100%, because sometimes it's difficult to have 100%. But why not give them 50, 60 what they want? You just say something about the IED that can do this job. Well, you are in that position. Okay, you guys know how difficult or how easy it is to go or no money. I don't know how we're going to make crook money other people. These boys have stood the test of time and they've shown to us in many occasions. Believe me, yours, I never knew at any one time that our boys could go running after Labri to Cameroon and they would disappear. And they follow them behind. They go here, they go. I never thought that. But today, we can hear from Bowie that they were following that they go here, they go here, they go here, they go here. What else do you need from these boys? There was a little fun support that the Secretary for Home Affairs were organizing on some of these fora that we could see how we can do to the Unity Warriors. You realize that it is very timid. Even those hearing and seeing what the boys are doing, it is the response is still very timid. Then I don't know how we want the boys to do. We just really need to sit up, Comrade Chris. I don't know how we can emphasize this. If the widow's mind will make an ocean, just little by little, it will make an ocean for the boy to know that they have a people. First of all, the groups have reduced from what they were in 2017, 18, 19. I do not see why this other one are left at us to the theater cannot have the mark that they need if we want to be independent. And even know that that's the language that Rick listens to. I'm sorry. We need to grow up. We need to work harder and empower these boys. There's no way you can doubt their actions. They've proven it. Let everybody dip his hand into his pocket. They will deliver to us. It's a shortcake they will. They've shown it. We are not asking whether they will do it or not. It's a proven record that they've done it. So what do we do? Is to empower them and give them what they want, and they will deliver for us. So I'm calling on all Ambazonia, no matter your group or what. This is something that cuts across the line. The fighters do not belong, whether you say they are mine, but they all fight for Ambazonia. That's why in the administration, Comrade Chris, we give to any fighting group. We don't select. We give to anybody that we know that is fighting, not because you belong there. We give to everybody. That's the spirit all other groups as well to emulate. And that we, God bless us, that we do that as soon as possible. Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a few minutes to go, about 9 minutes to go. Unfortunately, Ground Zero cannot participate with the normal phone calls, but again, we will rebroadcast this on Ground Zero when the satellite is back on. Uh, uh, Mama G, go ahead. You talked about lack of jobs, unemployment, the reason being why people are not ready to surrender and lay down their arms and walk away from this war. I'd like to show you a video footage of Ambazonians struggling to get to the diaspora. Please, let's see I can get that footage here of Ambazonians trying to get to America. I hope I can find that footage. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing that footage here. But Mama G, go ahead. There is no reason why the boys in the bush will lay down their arms when they know they are laying down their arms to nothing, to go to nowhere.
You know, when I was growing up, people just came to out of the went out of the country just to go and study some advanced studies because we didn't have a university which was for English speaking individuals. So people went to Nigeria for a bit or overseas to study. But right now, it's economic assistance, economic necessity, sorry. It's economic necessity. You see, people, there's a whole program which was done on PBS about Cameroonians going through Mexico to come to America. We see people going to Chad, going through Libya, to go over through Italy, and people are drowning. It never used to be that. People love their country. People sit there and work. So, with the fact now that people cannot even create jobs. I know of a guy who left here with money to go and start a yogurt company. He went there with the French system. They say pay this, he paid. Pay this, he paid. He got to a point, one of the directors said, I have to have a share in your company. How many percent are you going to give me? You do not even know what this guy is going to do. You are not contributing in any way. You want a share in a person's business. And so they frustrated the guy until he had spent almost all the money that he had brought from here. So he had to go look for employment. So just imagine that guy would have had a job for himself. He would have hired other people, and these people would be able to do for themselves. We used to have technical schools like Umbe. When you went to Umbe, it was like going to MIT. People left there and created jobs. Now, the schools are corrupted. And even those who go to school come and try to start a business, they are not allowed to. They come and say, pay patang, pay some money. You started a business, you've not even done anything, you have to pay and pay and pay. So they discourage private enterprise. And everything has to be done by a certain group. When I was growing up, we used to have individuals who had gas station. Patuma had a gas station just near the grandstand. Now they have taken all the licenses of our people. They have Bamilekes are the ones doing everything. And so where does that leave us? Where does that leave our children? I mean, if they would only let us to do things for ourselves, at least our children would be eating. But now we don't even have the opportunity to do for ourselves. And they are not being hired. And when the La Republic government needs money, it announces that there's a concours, there's a competitive exam, they call it French concours to hire 100 people for so or 50 people, and then the thousands of people who pay money, register for that thing, pay money, buy stamps, do this. It's a way of getting money from people for no good reason, that they are not giving them the jobs. There's nothing there. So let me start by go back and say something which I think is very important. The fact that Paul Biya stood on the tarmac and declared war on Ambazonia is an indication that this is a different country. A president cannot stand on the tarmac like that and declare war against itself. It can declare war against another country. But when the president of a country declares war on a people, it is an indication that those are not his people. And therefore, we have the right to separate. We are calling on people, all of those in the diaspora, to assist by bringing in the money. This is what we generally call a draft. The draft is a way that the country gets people to defend them, to defend the people of that country. Now, our boys on the ground have drafted themselves. They have volunteered to go and fight. So what are those of us who are out of the country? How are we going to contribute? How are we going to go and draft ourselves? It is to contribute money. To contribute money because our boys on the ground are doing the hard work. We have to participate. This is our country. We are not doing it for somebody else. Even if those of us who are out of the country do not intend to go back and settle back home, we have family, we have brothers, we have sisters, grandparents, parents, and it is our country. It is a moral obligation. Even those who have taken everybody, they claim everybody from there, it is still a moral obligation. That is the place where you call home.
All right, Mama G, hold on there. Let me play to you the clip that I was talking about. Now, these are Ambazonians on the way to America, seeking greener pastures. It will shock you. This footage will blow your mind off to see what our people go through to run away from what goes on the ground in that country. That is to amplify the message of lack of opportunities, right abuses that go on the ground, and people are doing everything to desert that country. What you are about to see, again, these are Ambazonians, ladies and gentlemen. These are Ambazonians trying to get to America. Listen to that.
Started the whole rope climb. This is a jungle road. People in the forest. See population. You see where no day. This us. Yeah, my brother. I can see you. Okay. See. Started the whole rope climb. This is a jungle road. People in the forest. See population. You see where no day. This us. Yeah, my brother. I can see you. Okay.
So can you believe that amount of people leaving one country seeking refuge and a better life in the USA, and they have to go through what we see there just because of what is going on the ground? And yet Cameroon wants the people to believe everything is okay. Everything is okay. If anything, what we have just seen there is proof that that country is not worth protecting. Uncle Bill, I saw you nodding your head.
Yeah, Comrade Chris, to be honest with you, I'm here with a few of them that are already over here. Sometimes they make more than 6 months on the way doing what you just shown us over there. 6 months to get to here. Hardship. And Larry will come and tell us they are okay. Everything is okay. But then they have a market to sell. They are reaping from us. You want them to come and say that things are not good. They'll normally say it is us who recognize the fact that the going is not going and do everything in our power to make sure we surmount this hurdle, this suffering. And this is actually what we are doing by saying we must be independent. It's not by any when we're independent, everybody, at least 70-80% of America will have a job. And some of this suffering like that would have been eliminated. Tell me, Comrade Chris, you go to Sonara, either 500 workers, 450 are francophone. That is something in Ambazonia that the job market was told to absorb these boys that are running here like this. They bring Larubi to Cameroon, they'll fill the whole place, and the boys are left looking at places. What do you expect? Some of them may end up not getting to America. And I was hearing one day or 2 days ago, Americans that said that anybody who is coming to America now cannot enter America until some conditions are made. If they come like that, what are they going to do? The sufferings. And here we keep on saying that some of us said that Larabri was okay for us to remain with Larabri to Cameroon. It's regrettable. How a person can see his people struggling for life, food to eat, living in bushes, and they do not seem to realize that they are suffering. What can we do to do something? They say, no, Larabri is correct, Larabri is correct. But to the youths themselves, what would they do? You begging from your father every day, your mother every day, every day. It become a bore to those people, and you even fall out because they are not able to they are not able to provide, and you cannot even help the situation. And these one are the more determined one that's determined to make something out of life. That's why they are embarked on something like that. The lazy one will not, but these are the brave ones that are embarked on a journey like this. Some will make it, some will not make it. It's a sacrifice. So what do? Do everything in our power to make sure that we fund this boy so that everything is ended. Well, that's the only way out. I believe in U.S. communities is something God forbid, and I say again, God forbid. Say something goes wrong, it's going to be worse than what we are saying here. Say something goes wrong that Ambazonia finally is not independent. I'll be very sorry for Ambazonia, for the people coming from Ambazonia. Well, everybody is going to be identified as a rebel. You rebel, you respect a ghost town. And where will you cry and go to? To who? It's a do or die situation. You and me, and your secretary for the name G, we have a lot on our hands. It's a do or die situation. Let's fight it on. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Mama G, you have the last word, please.
Okay, thank you. Now, you see that when La Republic started this war, they started by burning villages. Burning villages because they wanted to bring the Francophones and infuse them and put them inside those villages in a way that if we give up, they will be mixed with us, and there's no way that we will ever stand up again. So this is our time. We know wherever we are, whether we are in at home or we are out of the country, everybody knows that home ownership is very vital. When families begin to sell all their land, sell even houses that they live in, and move to shacks to send their children here, send their children not to come and study. Like I said at the beginning when I started talking, people used to go overseas to study. Now it's economic hardship. Our parents are sending children to come and work. to come and work and take care of the family because there is nothing back there. So there is nothing for us. If our people who are there are running away and coming here and going through the jungles and dying, and we see pictures of people coming, see pictures of people dying, and yet people are coming. Those back home know their friends who have died on the road and they continue to come. It is a clear indication that we don't need anybody to tell us anything again. It's a clear indication of what the issues are, that it is horrible. It is horrible back home. There is no turning back. There is no turning back. Like Uncle B said, the Home Affairs is taking contribution to help the book. The boys have fought very well. The Meme boys have done wonders. The boys in Manu are doing wonders. We have people in, we used to say there's nobody in Fako. The boys in Boya have done wonders. We have to acknowledge these boys. We don't care who is there. As long as the boys are fighting, we have to support all, I mean, all the women groups, all the boys who have put up their hands and said, here I am. Here I am to save my people. So I am calling on everybody to look at that contribution table on the APP forum and make your contribution. Let us please help these boys. Give them more energy, more strength. Look at our people dying on the road to Mexico, trying to come to America. It's the jungle. Some are dying climbing, some are dying in the water. It is horrible. It is something that nobody can imagine. There's a whole program that PBS made. If PBS identifies you and does a program like this about you, it is to show the enormity of this problem. So we have to stop it. We are calling on the international community to assist us to make sure that we can have this referendum, because the referendum will give us, the people of the British Southern Commons, a voice. We just want to be able to tell the world, because La Republique keeps saying it's only a fringe group of people. We want to say, no, it is the majority of us who want to live. And you can see it from the people who are taking this risk. You can see it from the people taking the risk and coming through Mexico. So please, we need help all around. Thank you.
All right, Uncle B, Mama G, thank you for being part of this emergency broadcast. Thank you very much for joining me. You have a great night and go home and celebrate Ambazonian restoration fighters. Right.
Well, we are not only celebrating, we are supporting. Thank you. We are not only going to celebrate, let us support. They've done their part, let us do our part. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Uncle B, again, thank you for being part of the show. I look forward to being here on Monday. On Monday, I'm going to be having a very special guest. Ambassador Tibor Naj will be with me on Monday, and I'd like all of you to tune in and be part of that broadcast. It will be very interesting. He has been at the forefront of this referendum option that we have been promoting, and so you come on Monday and be educated and be inspired with what he says. Thank you very much for tuning in, and good night in Ground Zero. Not to worry, not to worry. The satellite will be right back. I believe within the next 1 hour or so. They are working on it now. Good night and God bless you all.
companies